Hi, I'm David Vonderhaar, Game Design Director of Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and we're sitting here at Treyarch, and we're going to talk about some Black Ops multiplayer esports.
All right, Vaughn, so what are the challenges of trying to advance multiplayer beyond what you did Black Ops 1?
Black Ops, the first game, very successful game for us, but really just the start of everything that we have been thinking about for many years. So for us in Black Ops 2, it was really important for us to challenge all the fundamental assumptions about all of the core gameplay systems. We asked ourselves some really important questions. Why does the leveling system work the way that it does? Why do you unlock content this way? What should really happen when you prestige? How do you fit a competitive agenda into this game in a way that makes complete sense? Very critical to us to not just assume that because it worked the way that it did the last game, Black Ops, that it had to work that way in Black Ops 2. It may be a sequel, but it's a sequel only in name in that way. We wanted to have the absolute best gameplay systems for this game, regardless of what they were in Black Ops. Fan feedback for us is actually an important part of the entire development process. So I think Treyarch fans would know that we're pretty engaged with the community at large, socially, and through our own forums on callofduty.com. And there's actually entire game features that have been inspired by that interaction and that level of direct contact with the fans of the game, feeding back into what we're doing and therefore impacting what it is that they'll be playing here in a couple days. I think mainstream fans are going to find all the mechanic changes just as accessible as they would expect. It still has to be a game where you can get in there and press A and start playing, and that's all you need to worry about. What I think they're going to find really accessible to them is we did a tremendous amount of work. So when you're configuring and setting up your loadout or gear in the Create a Class system, how visceral and visual that presentation is. So you don't have to overly think about these things. Everything is presented in this nice visual way. They have great big pictures, all the key stats, and you can just go through and quickly set up 10 things for your class, and you'll be off and running in a heartbeat. Esports is a super important initiative for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It starts for us with what we call the sport or league play. That's actually playing it competitively. You're actually being ranked for wins and wins alone against other people or groups of people or individually, depending on the league that you're playing. That's Call of Duty as a sport, but that's really just the start. From there, we have a feature that we call codcasting. Now, codcasting is a fantastic way to make the game fun to watch for others. So, for example, I'm not a professional football player, but I really enjoy watching football. If it wasn't for that television production or sport, when you're watching it on TV, it wouldn't be as much fun to watch. Imagine you had to watch the game from the perspective of just the punter. Not the best way to watch the game. But with the codcast feature, people can actually figure out which guy you're actually watching. They actually know contextually whether he's taking an objective, how many kills in a row he's had without dying, so you can flip to that player's view and follow him. You can even listen in to an entire team and see how they're working together. And then finally, once you have the production and you have the sport, you have to have a way to get it to everybody. And for us, that's what we call the live streaming feature. Now, live streaming allows you to simply broadcast your game to the internet on Elite and on your YouTube channel, and basically anybody can come and watch you actually play that game. Pretty fantastic stuff. Yeah, so Mike Rufiao is Treyarch's esports consultant. So this is a guy I met actually because of Black Ops, the first game. Now, Hastro and I actually worked pretty closely together to be sure that we understood from his point of view as a former pro player, as a coach of a pro team, and even as a caster, all the three things you need to have a successful Call of Duty competitive team, how they interpret or view the competitive game. So Mike and I have a dialogue whenever necessary about how we're approaching the problems that develop out of making a competitive game and making sure that we have the appropriate perspective from all of these important stakeholders that you need to have any feature be successful.